So what's next for you here? You said is the competition in May?
Yes. So competition day is May 20th and the 21st in Branson, Missouri.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah. It's around the corner. It's around
Mm-hmm.
the corner. This go around has been different for me. Last year I had 6 months, somewhere between 6 and 8 months of prep. This year I've had like two. um but it's like, yo, I'm confident. I am confident in my ability. I am confident in my support system. And I mean, folks have come through for me. So
Yeah,
now it's like, let's get it and let's go.
yeah. Yeah, and faith will do that. Faith will do that. You know what I mean? Because like when you know if something's for
Yeah.
you know, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? It's just like if you think about that person in college that could like not study and stay up all night before, and they
Mhm.
can go and they can get an A on that test, and you know what I'm saying? And you don't,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't work your butt off, but it was just like that's their thing. That's for them. That's for them. You got your thing, I got my thing, and you know what I'm saying? Like 2 months of prep, 6 months of prep. If it's for you, it's for you. And it sounds like you got a great chance of getting it. So
Hey, that is the goal. Tunnel vision is on. I mean, of course, I still got to balance. I still got to take care of work, because if I don't, my bills don't get paid. But
that's
like
real.
it's still there is some balance. Um, I still have a social life. I last year I cut out so much stuff and I didn't learn how to balance all the things. But in my mind, it's like, well, if I become Miss Missouri, how am I going to balance my life? Like, I got to still be able to balance my life. I got to be able to still be a wife. I got to be able to still be a sister. I got to still be able to be a daughter. Whereas last year, I basically cut all that stuff out. This year was like, nah, sweetheart, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from what you did last year. And so it's
That's
like,
real.
get
Definitely.
it and go.
So what are ways that you learn how to balance it?
Honestly, I have had to just use my planners, use my calendars, and then also communicate. Like, specifically, I'll specifically touch on with my husband. So I've only been married for almost 5 months. It'll be 5 months on the second. Um,
Congratulations.
thank you. And within my marriage, we've had to learn how to communicate in a effective way. I mean, we learned this before we got married. Thank God. But being able to let my husband know, like, hey babe, I am feeling tired. Can you help me out? Can you make dinner? Or hey babe, I gotta go and do an interview at this time. Can you take care of Muffin? Can you take her out, make sure she's walked and ate and all these things? It's just a matter of communication with him and just letting him know, like, hey, I have these things coming up. Um, what do you got coming up? So now we're looking at our weeks and seeing, okay, this is how I can support you, this is how I can support you. And then, so that's just with my husband. Then with like my parents, I'm telling my parents, like, hey, I have a community service event on this day. I'm not going to be able to come to Kansas City and dilly dal with you. I gotta go take care of this. But maybe next weekend we can do all the dilly and dallying. Um,
Right.
and like, work responsibilities. Again, just really being in tune with my calendar. I have to put everything on my calendar, because if I don't, something's gonna slip. I mean, I go to the chiropractor weekly. I I go to work weekly. Obviously, I have practices weekly, so I have to make sure that they are planned out and on a calendar, because if I don't, I'll plan something else in that spot. And now I'm looking like, oh shoot, how am I going to do all of this at the same time?
Yeah.
So balance has literally come from using my resources. I mean, I tell my kids all the time. Well, they're not my actual biological kids because I don't have any, but I tell my students or my mentees or whatever all the time, like, write it down so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Like put a reminder in your phone, something, so you don't forget.
Something.
Like, put it on your front door, so like when you walk out, you have no choice but to see it. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's that's my way right now. Keep my balance, and it's working. Thank God, it is working. It is really working.
It does, you know what I'm saying? Even for me, like I wasn't the most organized person in the world before I started this journey.
Yeah.
And like I used to, but at the same time, I wasn't organized, but I'd still be like, how is it possible to do all of these things? Well, you have to get organized and then it's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
You know, like when you doing these things in life, it's just like you can make it all work. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not impossible, but you're gonna have to learn how to make certain adjustments, and it's very real. Like I've learned how to cling to my planner even when it comes to like how I schedule podcasts and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, you know, me using a scheduler was a product of not having a life, because I'm always just like, um, when I'm trying to link with people, it's just like, well, tell me what works for you, and then I'll just make it work. And it's just like,
Yeah.
hold on, wait, now I don't have a life
Right. Right.
because I'm on everybody else's time. And it's just like, no, we need to find a way where we can get on our time
Yep.
together, you know, and do it that way. And even still, like I didn't use it one time, like literally the other day when we talked, I didn't use it for a different person, and I double booked myself, and I ended up staying up till midnight. And it's just like, it's okay, I love what I do, but this is why you use the calendar, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's all right, like, you know what I'm saying, just get organized. It's possible, you can do everything, you can do anything.
Quite
Like,
literally. As long as you are organized with it, you really can. Like it's really possible. But remember to sleep. Like sleep is
yeah,
don't
yeah.
forget. Schedule that in somewhere too.
And you can get that in too, you know what I mean? Like even still, like you can do 50,000 things in a day and still get 88 hours of sleep if you do it
Yeah.
right.
You hear me? Listen, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I am not gonna miss bedtime. I am
No.
going to be on time to bedtime. Like, I,
You and me both, okay? Because one thing that I cannot do, because also at the same time, that goes back to self-care too. It sounds like I might need you back. But
hey,
that goes back, yeah.
say the word.
I'm saying the word right now,
All right,
but
bet.
but like it goes back to self-care too, because it's just like even when you're doing all of these things, you still have to be able to show up fully
Hmm.
in them, and that requires you being able to take care of yourself, which makes the schedule so important. Because like, you know, I can't, like, even though I do this, like I could stay up till midnight making posts, but then I got to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, you
Hmm.
know. And when I show up to work, I can't be like, yeah, I ain't got it for y'all. Like, you know, like I can't do
Man,
that.
now you don't got a job.
Exactly. And then when I come home and my dog is looking at me like, Mom, what's up? It's my first time seeing you. You know what I'm saying? Let's play. I can't be like, Ruby gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just can't do
Right.
it. Like, you gotta have that balance to be able to show up in all of the places. So it's important to take care of yourself to make sure you can do that.
Yeah. Man, man, like that's really all I can say because like those things, I mean, we harp on them all the time, but like how many of us really practice it like in for real life? And
Yeah.
like I'm finally at that point of nah, it's for real life. It's for real time to practice this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. You know what I'm saying? You could get all of the things that you prayed for, but then when they come, you gotta be ready for it,
Yep.
because then it'll go away.
You sure right about it.